It's always a good day to be out here on a military base, seeing America's future, our soldiers out here training, preparing to fight America's wars. It's motivating. And of course, today we saw 10 of them re-enlist because they believe in something. They believe in America, and that's what this is all about today. One of the interesting things about the Medal of Honor is it doesn't speak to the individual, it speaks to service. What we did in service is the same thing that these soldiers in back of you are going to do in their careers. And if they're called upon to serve like we did, they'll do the same things that we did as well.
Yeah, the medal doesn't make us special, but it does allow us to do some special things. And one of the best things we've ever done is a museum in Arlington, Texas, the National Medal of Honor Museum. And in there, it's going to protect and preserve not a lot of heroics, but the values associated with the medal: courage, sacrifice, and patriotism. That's what every veteran wants to pass on to the young soldiers. Those three things, more important than anything we did in a few minutes of combat. You know, America has no kings or queens. We got no dukes or duchesses, but we do have a nobility. Our nobility is those veterans. And these young people have decided that they are going to dedicate the rest of their life. The ultimate victory for every warrior is peace. The essence of peace is strength. The most lethal force on any battlefield is the American soldiers. These are the great peacemakers in America. They are the ones that are going to guarantee the future will be peaceful through the strength of our soldiers.
The soldiers here, what they need to remember is their job is to terrify our adversaries in not making the first shot. They bring peace through their resilience here. However, if they're called to fight, they need to remember their responsibility is first to the nation, but also to their team. They fight as a team. There's no individual.
The greatest thing about that museum, you know, every soldier, the essence of every soldier is service. They want to serve. Now, we are going to be able to continue to serve this country through that museum for hundreds of years to come. And so that's the great thing about that museum, that service. And that's what these guys are all about.
Yeah, so I'm just real quick, I'm Chris Cassidy, President and CEO of the National Medal of Honor Museum. It's so great to be here at Fort Cavazos. We're from representing the National Medal of Honor Museum, which is opening in just a handful of days, open for business on Tuesday, March 25th. And in Arlington, Texas, just a couple hours north of here where we are right now. We're so excited to share the stories of Medal of Honor recipients. As you probably heard so far this morning, there's 61 of them living today. We'll have a little over half of them in attendance on Saturday night, just 2 days from now, where we have a large celebration free for the community. 1,100 drones, 30 minutes of fireworks, military choirs and musicians from DC and around the country coming. And it's free for everybody to come. So anybody watching this, just hop in the car and make a quick trip and come up and join us on Saturday night. We're excited about that. We'll have about 15,000 great Americans in attendance, so all good. So the Medal of Honor is our nation's highest award for valor on the battlefield. It's been around since 1861. Since then, about 40 million people have worn the cloth of our uniform. And as I mentioned, as was mentioned, there's about 3,528 awards of that. So what needs to happen in order for that to be awarded? A person needs to be in the military, they need to be in combat, they need to be in a dire circumstance where action is taking that people think is truly above and beyond the call of duty. It needs to be witnessed by at least two people, and as many of the Medal of Honor recipients themselves joke around about, at least one of those people has to know how to write, because somebody has to write up the award citation and submit it through the military chain of command for such approval. And it's quite a lengthy process. To put it in context, in the Civil War, the Medal of Honor was the only award a military person could get. There was no other awards. Nowadays, we have a graduated system of awards from lower level all the way up to the Medal of Honor. I don't know how many in between, but many. And because of that, there's a great deal of scrutiny that goes into awarding the Medal of Honor. And it's typically a couple years on a fast track from the time of the action to the award being given by the president. One of the things we hope that members of the Cavazos family, or really any visitor, citizen of our country, we hope to instill this notion that Medal of Honor recipients were normal soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marine, just like the members of the Cavazos community at the time when they enlisted or began their military service, and then that route through service ended up in a position where they were in a place to take pretty great action. But the message is, it was just a twist and turn of life and fate that put them there, and that could happen to any of the Cavazos family members. The Medal of Honor recipients are a cross-section of our country in all ways you can slice it. Every service branch, every ethnicity, every religion, from all corners of our 50 states, including, like Flo Groberg, first-generation immigrant families. So there's a lot of connections, a lot of paths to service. Inspiring people to serve our country is another mission that we feel is important, and hopefully with a trip to the museum, that might spark some young person to raise their hand and serve. But service to the country can be in different ways besides wearing the uniform. First responder, fireman, teacher, nurse, whatever. Just service in general, I feel like is a good thing for everybody.